Hello vinyl community, how you doing? It's Bill with the Vinylverse. Back with another video, and it's a Vinyl Grabs video of stuff that I've picked up over the past, I don't know, 5-6 weeks or so. I got a lot of stuff, so I've decided to break this out into a couple parts, maybe even 3. But this first batch is still stuff I got in the mail through quarantine, and a couple I've recently been able to go out and actually dig. So I have visited 2 stores over the past few weeks, couple weeks, and picked up some stuff there. And then I have other stuff that I still need to show, plus I got some VCLT too that I'm going to share, and that'll be in a future video. So consider this part 1, and then part 2, and maybe even a part 3 will be soon. So to get started, Father's Day was several weeks back, and I kind of told my wife that what I would really like is to get another collects shelf to get my records better organized. So lo and behold, I got more shelves there. I got another 9 cube collects shelving unit. So happy to have that. It's really helped out a lot. I had a lot of overflow on the floor, and some of the cubes were packed kind of tight, so I was able to let them breathe a little more and move stuff over into this other unit. And now I have additional space to expand as well. And it's making it much easier to pull records, A, to listen to, and B, to pull them for videos, contest videos, thread videos. So yeah, very helpful. So that's the first thing I want to show is my new shelving unit. So happy to have that. But now to get started with the records. I think I pulled 11. And the first one, you've been seeing a lot of this in the VC lately because it just came out a few weeks ago. I had this on pre-order. This is not the exclusive with the print, the cover print, but so happy to get this. It's Neil Young's Homegrown. These are recordings that he made in between 74 and 75, I think, and they kind of got shelved, and he didn't release them until this year. So it's wonderful. The pressing's great, sounds great, and the album itself is really, really good. I'm very, very happy with it. I've given it a few spins, and yeah, I really like it. So Neil Young Homegrown, very happy to have this. Next, saw this on Instagram from Siren Records here, local to me, and this is titled Eric Dolphy and Booker Ervin with the Mal Waldron Sextet, The Quest. This is a 1972 reissue of the 1962 album, The Quest, by the Mal Waldron Sextet. It had a totally different cover. I don't believe Eric Dolphy and Booker Ervin were mentioned in the title. But this is on Prestige. And there's that green Prestige label there. And this is really, really great. Big fan of Mal Waldron, and really, really like this a lot. So you have Eric Dolphy on alto sax and clarinet, Booker Ervin on tenor sax, Mal Waldron on piano, Ron Carter on cello. So you have Ron Carter, who's usually on double bass. He's on cello on this release, and then you have Joe Benjamin on bass and Charlie Persip on drums. This is really, really great. Charlie Persip, I wasn't really too familiar with. I don't know if I have him on anything else, but he is wonderful on this album. And the bass and cello, it's quite unique, and it's really, really great. Yeah, this is really great. So happy I picked this up. Like I said, the original has a totally different cover. It's just called, I think it's the Mal Waldron Sextet, The Quest, or The Quest, vice versa. But this reissue from 1972 sounds great. I think the cover's kind of cool, a little more psychedelic maybe, but wonderful album here. Very happy with this. Next, the June Vinyl Me Please release was, I think it was Albert King Plays Elvis, something like that. And I considered getting that, but that didn't interest me all that much. So I decided to trade that in, and what I traded in for is this. This is Big Bill Broonzy Sings Folk Songs. And wow, this is wonderful. I really, really like this. I'm so happy that I traded it in. This is on Folkways Records, and it's a Smithsonian Folkways Records here. Put out by Vinyl Me Please. Remastered from original analog tapes, and it is wonderful. There's the Folkways label. It's just Big Bill Broonzy and his guitar, and I'm not sure if all of it is recorded in front of an audience, but some of it's recorded in front of an audience, and you wouldn't even know that there's an audience there. And he makes a couple comments that let you know that it's in front of an audience. But I highly recommend this. This is wonderful, and it came with a lot of goodies. So initially, it had this kind of Buy Me Please J card kind of wrapped around the album. And then it had this kind of print inside. And then it had, I think this is standard with all Folkways releases, it has a printed out pamphlet of dialogue about the album, about the songs, about the recordings. So that's very cool. Then it had a download code and a Smithsonian Folkways card to get on their mailing list. But yeah, very happy that I traded that other album in and got this one, because this is wonderful. Big Bill Broonzy Sings Folk Songs. So it was cool to add this to the blues collection. My blues collection is kind of small, and very happy to have this. So these next, let's see how many. 1, 2, 3, 4. These next 5. Pennsylvania kind of opened up, went to green in this whole pandemic, and stores have been opening back up, and pardon me, a local store, it's a toy store called Joys and Toys, and they sell all kinds of old toys and collectibles and antiques and stuff like that. But he's got a huge record selection. And that's only a few minutes away, and I decided to go there one afternoon on a weekend. I had a little bit of time, not much, so I decided to go there kind of close, and I was able to find some things. Starting with Rick Wakeman, Criminal Record. So Rick Wakeman, the great keyboardist that was in Yes. This is his 1977 release, Criminal Record, and this had been one of his solo albums that I had been wanting on vinyl. I have a bunch on CD, but and I have a few of his releases on vinyl, kind of the main ones: Six Wives of Henry VIII, Legends of King Arthur, and Journey to the Center of the Earth. And one of the reasons why I wanted this one, it's a very good album to begin with, but both Alan White and Chris Squire from the band Yes play on a few of the songs on this album too. So, Rick Wakeman, Criminal Record, 1977. It's a good one. I also picked up a 12-inch single. This is Genesis, Keep It Dark. So, Keep It Dark off their Abacab album. And I don't collect much of this type of stuff, but I wanted this because on the B side it has an unreleased track, Nama Nanu. So that's the main reason why I wanted this, and plus it was real cheap. So, but in great condition, hardly any wear on it, just dusty. Still needs to be cleaned. But Genesis, Keep It Dark, 12-inch single. And then I found Camel, Rain Dances. This is their 1977 album, Rain Dances. And this is a German pressing, so that's kind of cool. It's on the Nova label, which I had never seen before. So Camel, I only have a couple other releases on vinyl. I have Mirage and Moon Madness. So it was cool to find this one. There's still a couple others that I'd like to get also in Camel 70s catalog. But this is a really good album. Yeah, really, really good album. Really like the band Camel. So happy to add Rain Dances to the collection. And here's a cool find that I've been looking for a while, and got this real cheap, surprisingly. And this is Gets Gilberto, featuring Antonio Carlos Jobim. So Stan Getz and Yoa Gilberto. This is from 1964. This is a pretty early pressing, super clean gatefold. But it's an early pressing with a hype sticker right on the jacket that says contains the hit record of The Girl from Ipanema. So The Girl from Ipanema, beautifully sung by the wife of Joa Gilberto, Astrid Gilberto. Great song. This was cheap, and it's really, really clean. It's on Verve. Plays perfectly. I was real happy about that. No marks on the vinyl whatsoever. Sounds terrific. So happy to have this one in the collection. Gets Gilberto. And then the last thing I found there, still sealed, was Paul Simon's 1990 album, The Rhythm of the Saints. I haven't unsealed it yet. This is a club edition, but still. 1990, the year the album came out. This is a great album. I have the CD. Haven't listened to it in forever, but was happy to find this, and it's still sealed. So pretty cool there. So finally, these last three. I was able to, I had Friday, July 3rd, my company was off for the 4th of July holiday. I had some free time to myself in the afternoon, so cleared it with the wife and was able to take a ride to Siren Records. Siren Records is about a good 20-25 minutes away. So if I'm going to go out there, it's got to be, I know I'm going to be there, probably spend usually about an hour in the store, maybe more. But, you know, so it's at least a 2-hour commitment with the drive and the time spent in the store. So just got to make sure I have that time available so I can go there. So I was able to take a trip there on Friday, 3rd, and I came out with 3 things, which I was quite pleased with. First is Steve Hackett's 6th studio album, I believe. So Steve Hackett, former guitarist of Genesis. This is his album, Highly Strung, with wonderful artwork from his first wife, Kim Poor. She had done most of the artwork for his albums, and this one's pretty nice. Yeah, happy to find this to add to the collection. It's got great songs. Camino Royale, it's a good one. Cell 151, Hackett to Pieces, just to name a few. Real happy to add this. Now Steve isn't the best singer, and he does sing on this album quite a bit, but it's I'm not going to say it's bad at all. He's let's just put it, he's a much better guitarist than he is singer, but he can carry his own while singing too, though. So happy to have found this one, Steve Hackett, Highly Strung, from 1982. Okay, next. This was a brand new copy of Don Cherry, Complete Communion. This is part of the 75th anniversary Blue Note reissue series. This album was originally released in 1966. Yes, 1966. So yeah, this is one I had been wanting for some time. It's really good. It's really got 2 tracks on it. Side A is Complete Communion, and then side B is Elephantasy. And then each of those 2 tracks have kind of sub tracks to it, I guess. Yeah, really enjoy this. It's a little free, somewhat free, but yeah, highly enjoyable. Really like this. So you have Don Cherry on cornet, Leandro Gato Barbieri on tenor sax, Henry Grimes on bass, and Edward Blackwell on drums. Everything on here is composed by Don Cherry. And yeah, really happy to have it. Yeah, really happy to have it. One thing, as I was reading the back cover, the liner notes here, it kept using the phrase new jazz. So it's like not quite hard bop. I guess it's kind of post bop with kind of free elements to it. But it doesn't really stretch too far out there. It's kind of contained. But very, very enjoyable. So Don Cherry, Complete Communion from 1962, and this came out 2015 as part of the Blue Note 75th anniversary series. And the last thing I picked up, which I was really stoked to add to the collection, is Miles Davis on the Corner. So this is a music on vinyl release from 2012. The pressing is really stellar. It's just a terrific album. So this is electric kind of fusion jazz, but really, really wonderful. A lot of players on this album, including, of course, Miles Davis, and I think he spends most of his time on this album playing an organ. He also plays his trumpet, electric trumpet. Of Herbie Hancock, Chick Corea, one of my favorite drummers, Jack DeJohnette. He plays on here. Actually, there's 3 drummers: Jack DeJohnette. Who else? Al Foster and Billy Hart. Who else plays on here? There's an electric sitar played by Colin Walcott. Carlos Garnett and Dave Liebman plays soprano and tenor saxophones. Bernie Maupin plays bass clarinet. Cedric Lawson on organ. Dave Creamer on guitar. Reggie Lucas on guitar. John McLaughlin on guitar. Khalil Balakrishna also plays electric sitar. Michael Henderson, bass guitar. Don Elias also on drums and percussion. So there's actually 4 drummers on here. I misspoke earlier. James Ntume plays percussion. Paul Buckmaster on cello, and Badal Roy on tablas. So a whole bunch of players on this album, and it is great. Really happy with this. Really happy that I picked it up. And this music on vinyl pressing is terrific. Flawless, dead quiet, perfectly flat, plays beautifully. Really happy to have added this to the collection. So, that's this first batch of what I wanted to show. I'll be back with a part 2 very soon. Like I said, that's going to have some VCLT also in it. Maybe a part 3 of pickups, depending on how long part 2 is going to be. And then there's also another contest I want to get in. The deadline is coming up, and I need to get that done. So hopefully I can manage to do that, because I want to support the channel that's hosting the contest. But yeah, that's going to do it for me. Thanks for checking this video out and watching these pickups, these grabs that I've got over the past month plus. I hope everyone's doing well. Hope everyone's staying safe and wearing their masks and washing their hands and just staying healthy and being well. So that's going to do it for me. Thanks for watching, everybody, and I will talk to you again soon. Bye now.